What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be explaining exactly how my student Millie was able to go from blowing multiple trading accounts left and right to banking over $18,000 in one single month. This isn't some random success story. I'm mapping out the exact process, specific techniques, and psychological shifts that made this transformation possible. If you've been struggling to see consistent results in your trading, this case study will show you the exact framework that works. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so basically, this is how it all started. So Millie, when he first started working with me, before he started working with me, he would take any setup he saw. He didn't really have a strong narrative for price whenever he was looking for a setup. He had really bad entries. They weren't accurate. He had really large stop losses, so his entries weren't good enough to where he could have reduced risk. He was using strategies the wrong way. He was marking order blocks and fair value gaps improperly. He was taking trades off of non-high probability areas of interest, and he thought he knew everything about the market, but what he didn't know was that there was a lot more for him to learn. So this is what we did to first start out. I had to assess all of his problems, so I hopped on multiple calls with him, including our first call, which was the onboarding call. So I sat down, I got to know him a little bit because it was my first time meeting him. I asked him what his goals are. I asked him how much he makes at work, why he's even trading in the first place. So I wanted to learn about him so that I could diagnose everything, so that I could set up a plan specifically for him and how he can fix what's going on in his trading. So a lot of the key mindset shifts that I had to instill within him were understanding that it's going to take time to become profitable. You can't just start unlearning all of these bad habits that you've developed in the past all at once. In order to change or get rid of a bad habit, you have to replace it with a good one. So what we did was we started implementing certain things that he can do in his trading, such as, okay, only taking 1 or 2 trades a day and then walking away, because a lot of times if he took a loss, he might revenge trade. So we had to start implementing different risk parameters, different mindset shifts. I also told him, okay, for example, his goal was to make his income. I always like to make my students their first goal to be replacing their income from their job. Okay, so I believe he was making about $4,000 a month from his job at the time. So I said, okay, let's get that down first. Let's get you to make $4,000 a month consistently first. And then once you can make that every single month, then we can start aiming you towards larger payouts, more accounts. So I had to get him to understand that type of mindset. You just have to, everything starts with your mind. So I wanted him to be able to properly understand this first. The accountability structure that I had with him, we have the community in the chat. So we have a lot of different people. A lot of my students are all working together, trying to elevate and help each other out. I have a whole entire questionnaire area where, all of the students can throw in a bunch of their questions. I could help them answer those questions, as well as other students can communicate effectively in that chat. And then we kind of create like a thread, and then everybody throws in their knowledge, and then all the students are helping each other. It's nice. Everyone's motivating each other. Everyone's just overall trying to get better in every aspect of their life. Melly had booked multiple one-on-one calls with me. I have a one-on-one channel as well that I created for all of my students, to where, a lot of times the students are not comfortable sharing their problems inside of the community chat. So what I do is I have their own individual chat that I've created. So all of the students can ask me their own personalized questions. They can send me their trades, use it as a trading journal, whatever it is that they want. Specifically for Millie, I had multiple one-on-one calls with him. I would break down specific concepts he was struggling with, and I would record those calls as well, so that I could help other students who might be struggling in those same areas. The timeline of implementation, so from the moment that he got onboarded with me, I was hopping on call. I hopped on the onboarding call, and then we would schedule calls as necessary. So I have all of my content inside of my mentorship, and I told him, okay, I need you to watch this video, and this video before we're allowed to have a call. I don't want him just to hop on a call with me expecting me to explain things to him if he hasn't put in the work and studied. And Millie was on top of things every hour outside of work. He was doing what I was telling him to do, and then he was utilizing the systems and all of the protocols that I have in place in my videos, and he was applying it to the charts in his free time, so that now he can see what I was talking about in real time. So the strategy implementation. Okay, so the first thing that we had to implement was his daily routine. So if you don't have a structured daily routine that's implemented into your, in your day, then you're not going to be able to trade properly. Because when you don't have things to do outside of the charts, you're likely going to stick onto the charts all day, and you're gonna revenge trade, you're gonna overtrade, and you're just gonna end up running yourself into the ground doing things that you know you shouldn't be doing. I told Millie that he should be done trading by noon. Okay, he shouldn't take another trade. He shouldn't even be on the charts past noon. He can come back onto the charts in the evening, but if he's on the charts past noon, that's going to open him up to revenge trading, over trading, and doing things that he knows he shouldn't be doing. Pre-market preparation process. I have in my Discord a section where I will send out a 2 to 3 minute video explaining exactly what I want to see the markets do for that specific day. I sent it to all of my students. I told them, okay, I need you to watch this video every single day after you've already done your own pre-market analysis. That way you can compare it to what I've said, but if you watch it before doing your own, then you're not going to have full confidence in your own, and you're gonna be relying more so on what I've told you rather than what I'm teaching you how to do for yourself. So I told him, use it as a comparison to your own analysis, but don't depend on it. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to develop my students into independent thinkers, independent traders. I don't want them to be dependent on signals. That's why I don't offer a signal service, because I don't believe in that. I want you to be able to fish for yourself. I don't want to just hand you trades all day long. That's not how that's gonna work. You're not gonna get anywhere. I had Millie implement specific trading rules. I've already explained a few of them previously, but I told him, okay, you're not trading past 12. I like all of my students to trade the same exact market. I prefer NASDAQ or ES. That's typically what I'll do my analysis on. I don't really like anything else, especially when it comes to futures. So I highly encouraged him to trade only NQ, which he did. Listen to me and only trade NQ. Okay, I also told him, I want you to take 3 trades maximum in a single day. Okay, if you take 2 losses though, then you walk away. You're done. You're not gonna take another trade. I don't care if you wanna make it back. No, there's going to be another trading day. You're just gonna wait until tomorrow. And that's where that discipline comes into play. A lot of traders are too focused on making money right now, and they neglect all of their trading rules, and that's why they're not seeing the results that they want. Trading is a long-term approach. You don't want to sit down and be stuck in the mindset of, I need to make money now, because then you're never gonna get anywhere. You need to take your time, and that's how you're going to be able to make money in the long run. You don't wanna be that trader that hits a home run once every 6 months, and then the rest of the year, you're inconsistent. You don't wanna see large swing P&Ls. That's not sustainable. Again, the risk management protocol that I had implemented for him, I have actually created an entire in-depth risk management protocol. If you guys want that, the link is going to be in the description. But essentially, I had him follow pretty much that same exact protocol. I'm not going to get too in depth into it, but basically walk away after taking 2 losses for the day. And when it comes to prop firms, I had an entire protocol for him. It's the same exact one that I had already outlined, so I'm not going to repeat myself, because that will take in and of itself 20-30 minutes. So you guys can check that out. The link is in the description down below. So the psychological techniques, okay? So I had multiple psychological techniques that I had him apply, such as understanding your emotions throughout the trade, okay? Whenever you're journaling your trade, it's important to write down how you felt before the trade, how you felt during the trade, and how you felt after the trade, okay? Because the first step in identifying the root cause of maybe revenge trading or over trading is to understand your emotions and your mental state during that time. So if you find yourself revenge trading, okay, what is that root cause of the revenge trading? Are you maybe taking a trade that's outside of your trading plan that's leading you to now chase that loss back? What is it exactly? You need to always be consciously aware of what's going on prior to you entering into a trade. One thing that I told Millie to do, and it's something that I've implemented myself that's helped me save hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's simply buy. Before I enter into any single trade, I will verbally say it out loud. I am okay with losing $1,000 on this trade. I am okay with losing $5,000 on this trade. Whatever the amount that I'm going to risk, I'm going to say, I am okay with losing. Because when you enter a trade, you have no control of the outcome. The only thing that you have control over is the amount of money that you've risked. You don't want a singular trade, the risk on a singular trade, to wreck your entire account. You also don't want to take a trade where you might have risked too much and now you're scared of that loss. You didn't accept that loss beforehand, before you entered the trade, and then now you're trying to chase it back and then you blow your account. That's not what you want to do. Okay. Lastly, we have the weekly review process. So typically what I'll do is I had him fill out a questionnaire that I have for all of my students. In that specific questionnaire, I ask him, okay, how do you think your performance went? How many funded accounts did you buy? How many did you blow? How many payouts did you get? So I'm just trying to see where his progress is throughout the week. I also asked to see his trading journal. You know, any trades that he had, maybe he didn't understand the losses, I would review them for him. And I would say, okay, this is the reason why you took a loss here. Maybe you should have entered here. Maybe you should have waited for this. Maybe you just neglected this part of the narrative that you didn't see before. So I would just kind of break down every individual trade that he had trouble with so that I can be able to walk him through exactly what he needs to do so that he can progress and not make those same mistakes in the future. So the transformation. So before, his win rate was not good at all. So he had a really bad win rate, which you don't need a crazy win rate in order to become profitable. I've had months where I have a 30% win rate simply because I'm, scalping extremely low time frames, and I'll take a bunch of losses, but whenever I have a big winning trade, it makes up most of the losses. So you can have a low win rate and still become profitable, but the goal is to take the least amount of trades and to be the most accurate. That's, kind of what I would prefer to do. So for him, he had a horrible win rate and he wasn't even catching large R multiple trades, so he wasn't able to make money. So before, I believe his win rate was maybe 40%, so he was losing 60% of his trades, and then afterwards, he's been able to do on a bare minimum 50 to 60% win rate, which is fantastic. Especially, I've been able to increase his R multiple, which means that on every single trade that he's winning, he's going to have a minimum of a 2R, okay? A risk to reward of a 1 to 2, meaning that if he risks $1, he's going to be making a minimum of $2 or more. So that's kind of what we did there. Psychological improvements. I've been able to help him with self-control, maintaining his emotions, and just enjoying the process. You don't need to rush. There's no need to rush. Here are his payouts. So you can see here, and he does use Rise. I typically tell my students, use Rise or Wise or anything like that. It kind of accelerates the process of you getting your payout. So you can see he got a $1,180 payout here, another $3,600 payout here, another $3,600 payout here, another $3,600 payout here, another $3,600 payout here, and lastly, another $3,600 payout here. So if you see all these $3,600 payouts, it's because I teach my students to utilize multiple funded accounts and link them onto a copier. So I explain to them exactly what they should do, how they should manage the risk, how they should approach trading on the copier with multiple accounts. So that's the best way for them to be able to maximize their profits without having to put in so much more effort, which is really good. He was able to do that. Yeah, so his efforts, following his plan, doing everything he was supposed to do for the entire month allowed him to receive $3,600 from multiple accounts. I believe with My Funded Futures, you're only allowed to have 3 accounts. So he got 2 payouts during that time from each account. You can see here, all the payouts that he received for that month. Here's what Millie has to say for himself. When I first started, I was struggling to get payouts. Now, $18,000 in a month, it's like nothing, which is absolutely insane considering that he came from making $4,000 at his job every single month. So what are some critical success factors? Okay, the most important changes that led to success. Okay, so he was able to overcome his challenges. He was able to fix the mistakes, avoid them that were previously causing him failures. And then we were able to get him to have that mental framework adjustment. So beyond just the numbers that you see, he was able to improve his lifestyle, gain a lot of confidence. He had $18,000 in 1 month is just a start for him. He's going to be able to do $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 months. It's just a matter of time. If he was able to achieve $18,000 in less than 2 months working with me, it's inevitable he's going to hit larger numbers. It's just he has to just stick to the process, continue implementing everything that I've taught him, and he's going to do what he's destined to do. And then lastly, the family perception shift. So he's able to now help his family. He's going to be able to help his parents. He was telling me he doesn't come from a high income household. His parents migrated here from the Dominican Republic. So he's been able to now provide for his family, even if he just gives his mom a couple thousand a month here and there, that's still gonna help pay her bills, help with groceries, whatever it is. And that's what trading is all about. Trading is all about helping those that you love, helping your loved ones, helping everyone in your family that matters the most. So that's pretty much it on how I was able to help my student Millie go from a struggling trader to now becoming a profitable trader. God willing, he's going to continue to progress, continue to prosper. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. If you guys love this video, you guys want to see more, support my channel by subscribing. Road to 10,000 subscribers. If you guys aren't already following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow it. I'll pop it up right here. Comment down below what type of videos you guys want to see. I've been starting to do vlogs and a bunch of other things as well. I'm trying to provide as much value as possible. If you guys want to become one of my next success stories, just like Millie himself, go ahead, apply. The link is going to be in the description down below. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys learned something new. Peace.